What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Thursday. Thursday is the day we do the timeline tea. There hasn't been a whole lot going on my timeline. I feel like sometimes there's so much going on and I'm too busy to get over here to talk about it. And then, there's these days where it ain't a whole lot going on, but we gonna talk about some things anyway. Few things have happened in the course of, I don't know, 24 hours or so. I don't always be right there on it, y'all. While we're here, let's go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over here talking to y'all. It does only takes a second for you to hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe so we can come over here and talk about things whenever, the wind blows in the direction of this conversation. Where we gonna start today? I like to do a little community, conversation. I like to talk about the community and keep us abreast of things that are going on. The question of the day, do we support Black business? When I say we, I mean us in the Black community. Do we support Black business? Because based on what we're finding out, where we at over here at, I like to follow this page. If you're not, it's Black Millionaires. That's where I get these stories from a lot of the time. But so Black Millionaires gave me a little insight on what's going on in terms of how we are supporting each other. I feel like right now there's a war against us. Like, we've always been in a war, but it's just very blatant. It feels like, the America that they was talking about getting to again, it's here. And we all sat here and acted like, that sounds stupid. Make America great. But nobody really doing anything to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? So, Black millionaires, what they said was the revenue gap highlights challenges for Black-owned businesses in Atlanta. Recent reports from the Atlanta Wealth Building Initiative sheds light on a stark economic disparity between Black-owned businesses and their counterparts in the Atlanta area. According to the data, the median revenue for Black-owned businesses stands at just $129,683. That's less than $1 million. That's not a lot. I mean, in terms of what the economy looks like, 129,683 in contrast to other businesses, other small businesses, meaning not Black owned, the number is 737,000. This nearly six-fold difference in earning underscores the systematic challenges many Black entrepreneurs face, including limited access to capital, fewer networking opportunities, and disparities in the market exposure, support, infrastructure. Despite Atlanta's reputation as a Black business hub, these figures highlight an ongoing need, targeted investment, inclusive policies, and community-driven solutions. Atlanta is 46.3% Black. That's a big number. So if they can have that many Black folks, and I used to live in Atlanta. So, back in the day when I lived there, it was definitely a place where I saw a lot of affluent Black people. Hey, T, what's going on? From the football field? Well, you know what it is. We're over here talking about, I'm shooting the shit as we like to do. I'm talking about how Black people support Black businesses and whether they do. So I threw a number out there, 129,000 roughly for Black-owned business and 737,000 for other businesses not Black-owned. And Atlanta being 46.3% Black, that says a lot. Like, so how much are y'all supporting the Black businesses in general? And I don't want to get into the excuse that I try to support Black businesses, but they just don't do right. I'm not talking about those businesses. I'm talking about the ones that do. And the reason why they can't be successful is because of the bigger things that they're not getting, like funding, access to money. Hey, Shayna, access to money definitely gives you access to information. It goes all the way back to us, like, not being able to read, not being able to learn. I'm gonna get to Flint. I didn't even like look up the percentages of Flint because I'm sure they're not the same as they used to be. But you know, little off track. But us, it used to be illegal for us to know how to read and things like that. Like the whole concept is for us to, not have information. The idea that if they don't know no better, then they don't know what they're missing. I had that conversation with a older lady, and this was years ago from Cuba. She, obviously Cuba, there was a time you couldn't go back, and kind of like what's happening here. The wealth was very off balance, and the idea was if they don't know nothing about what's going on over here, then they won't have no idea about how the life is supposed to be lived. What'd you say the percentage? Flint used to be, I don't know, a higher percentage in the 90s. We know what's going on there. The gentrification, just like what was going on in many places. Here in Kissimmee, there's only 9.7% Black, 67% Hispanic, and 33% white. And when you think about how in my environment, Hispanic, like even when they go to jobs, they have options. They're white Hispanic, regular Hispanic, whatever that is, and then you're Black Hispanic. And when they go into different places like voting and things of that nature, what do you think they're going to align themselves with? Because I know a lot of Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, all way darker than me, all with hair much kinkier than mine, but we don't want to get into that conversation. We talk about how we don't support each other in the Black community because they definitely support each other. I work in a place that's used to be owned by a Puerto Rican and Cuban, and people came in there just based on the name. When you go around here to different barbershops, the Hispanic community supports restaurants, things of that nature. In my neighborhood, I can go get the chicken place is a Spanish, it's a Latin chicken place. The grocery store, the foods that are catered to, Spanish culture. And I chose to be over here. To be honest, I feel much safer over here. But my point is, they definitely support one another when it comes to business. That's an issue we have. And, if we don't fix that, then, we always going to be where we at. We sit around, not, when I say we, I mean we. When I look at what's on TikTok, if I'm looking for some information or somebody with something that's going to benefit me, you got to look for that stuff, even if you're following them. Now, if I want to see, some lady out in Walmart with her bonnet and her house slippers on, fighting some man over some bottled water, I can find that. It's constant. It's constant. It's the stuff that's being pumped into, into the brains. I see kids out here in the grocery store acting a fool just for the sake of making content, if you want to call that content. What'd you say? T. We have a Black mayor, city council, and police chief, but the majority of the new businesses are non-Black. So then who's making the decisions? Because I just saw our police chief here in Orlando saying that he has to sign some type of agreement with ICE, because if he doesn't sign the agreement, Mayor Dennings, and him and his wife are very politically involved, both of them. He's gone from police chief, all the way up to mayor. And yeah, he had to sign an agreement with ICE. If not, then the governor was going to have them all removed from office. And so that's not what you want. You don't want to have, you don't want to have your allies removed when laws are being made. So, when it comes to us and the percentage of us being so few, where do you get the funding at? How do you make that work? And the only way to make it work is for us to support each other. Economically, everybody's suffering. The report serves as a call to action for policymakers, financial institutions, and local stakeholders to bridge this revenue gap and help foster a more equitable economic landscape across the city. Empowering Black owned businesses not only benefits individual entrepreneurs, but strengthens the broader Atlanta economy. I feel like that's the same, wherever you are, you need to be making an effort to support Black businesses. And maybe what's missing and why they don't run properly a lot of the times is because of the education that didn't follow. They did not have the opportunity to grow up in a restaurant that their parents owned. They had to, get it where they can't get it. Anyway, Lanny Smith is the founder of Actively Black. And I follow Lanny. I get a lot of good information from him. He's in the fashion industry, obviously. Actively Black is a clothing, company that's growing. I feel like we all need to get out here and support, buy a t-shirt, sweatshirt, something. When it's time for Christmas, it's rolling around. And I feel like regardless to whether people are economically in a good space or not, they still going to be running out here spending money for Christmas presents that they can't damn afford. So while you're down at the Ralph Lauren store and the Gucci store and somewhere trying to buy some labels of some people that are not ours, you might want to go down to Actively Black, you know what I'm saying, and spend your money over there. Because this young man is a position. He just announced that, it's been like sometime over the summer, that his clothing company is using a Black farm to source the cotton for their, merchandise. And if you know anything about what's going on, the land that the farmers own that are Black are getting shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. So pretty soon we won't own nothing. And a corporation will, unless you get active. Like, I feel like at the very least you could spend some money on some Black dollars. I'm not gonna feel uncomfortable saying it because, like I said, I work in a space where people will walk in the salon and say, I want a Spanish, I want a Puerto Rican person, I want to, you know what I'm saying? They specifically asked, which leaves me out. You know what I'm saying? So, then you have people within our community that, they'll come, but they may not send you more people. It's an ongoing thing. You just have to like make an effort. I feel like us Black girls are not really finna let too many people. That's the only place where you'll find loyalty, honestly, is with somebody doing your hair. But that's another subject. So I seen this story over here on, his name is Bobby Garnett. I suck at sharing the freaking screen, so bear with me on that. That ain't it. I haven't shared the screen in a minute. Look, don't judge me. I'm doing the best I can out here in these internet streets. While I'm trying to figure it out, you can like the video. That'd be cool. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Let's see if I can start this all over.
The clothes from this store influenced Ralph Lauren to create a whole new clothing line. The store is called Bobby from Boston, and it was founded by menswear fashion legend Bobby Garnett. Bobby specializes in vintage Americana Ivy-style menswear, with Bobby Garnett's first store opening in the 70s. Bobby and his team would travel all over Europe to source their inventory and curate their store. And at some point, back when Ralph Lauren only specialized in suits and tailoring, he turned to Bobby for inspiration. Some of the best-known Americana-style garments by Ralph Lauren were influenced by Bobby's store curation. And we probably wouldn't even have Double RL if it wasn't for Bobby Garnett. Unfortunately, not long after Garnett's passing, the store in Boston closed its doors, but their warehouse sales can still be found in Lynn, Massachusetts. I believe heritage clothing is making a comeback, and Bobby Garnett has lots of impact on it to this day. What do you think?
I think we need to do some more research. And I appreciate Lenny. I appreciate Lenny for sharing the information because, that's something we don't do a lot of. unfortunately. Anyway, I think it's sad, and I think we need to do more um, supporting of each other. I wonder, like, would y'all? And when I'm say y'all, I mean y'all. I've never heard of Bobby Garnett. Have y'all ever heard of Bobby Garnett? Check out, what is it called? Check out the Nile, the Black Amazon. Where you check it out at? Is it on Netflix? Because I'll put it in the description box. Where do you what is it? The Nile. Is there a such thing as Black Amazon? Please educate me. I don't really Amazon. I feel like that was one of the things I took off my list to do. But I have never heard of Bobby Garnett. So just, being attached to the fashion industry, I do want to do some more research. If we don't put it out there, we won't even know. That's the whole point, for us to not know where we came from. Would we support Bobby the same way we support Ralph Lauren? I wonder. Would you go down there and, to Amazon if the option was there? Like, I shouldn't have to research it. I feel like he should be in the mall right next to Ralph Lauren then. You know what I mean? But I don't remember ever seeing it. Yeah, so hopefully we'll do better. Hopefully, the more we educate ourselves, then the better we'll do. Black Amazon. I'm going to have to talk to you like offline so you can let me know what the heck. It's a store. Black Amazon. All right. Let me do my research, because Tia's already been on it. And then, I'll come back to y'all with update. I'm always going to talk about it. Liam, he's tired of y'all. He's tired of y'all. I heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Because just over on his Instagram, let him know, like, I was really thankful. She right on it. She done send it to me right now. It's popping up on my phone. Black Nile. Lenny gets a lot of resistance. I'll put it like that. From our community. I'm not understanding why he hears things like you just hating on Ralph Lauren and things of that nature. And that's not what it is. He's saying, if you're willing to pay this money for that, then why would you say that my shit is too expensive? I'm sure it's quality. It's just that it doesn't have the name, attached to it. And when you purchase his, products, then you are in turn supporting Black farmers. So it's like a chain reaction. When you go over to the Ralph Lauren store, it doesn't do nothing for your community and not a whole lot for you, because they just going to turn around and say that ain't what they really want to see in their clothing. So do what you will with that. How far would you go to protect your property? Now, I saw this and I was rolling. Oh.
I will kill you! I will kill you!
So if you're not sure what's going on here, these guys are trying to steal his car. He's over in Australia. These guys are trying to steal his car. And when they turned the car on, he heard them and he barked them off the property. And I was like, it was the rooster dance for me. I feel like from now on, I want to test that. If somebody comes in, what is he saying? He's barking. He's barking and he's saying, I want to ill you. And then he barked again. The rooster dance, with everything. Next time I'm somewhere in public and somebody like gets that last nerve going, I'm just gonna bark, like, and do the rooster dance and see what happens after that. That was funny to me. They took off. It worked. He didn't need a real dog. He barked at them and they all hopped over the fence as if they was going, he might have bit one of them the way he was coming, that energy he was giving. But yeah, he don't play about his stuff. Do y'all remember down to the Congress meeting when this lady was discovered as a bleach blonde, bad built, butch body? Ooh, that's a mouthful. Who said that? That was Jasmine. Jasmine called this lady a bad built, bleach blonde, butch body. Well, update. We've seen her all over the internet being freaking appropriate and rude to people. Hey, El Cid, just a quick little reminder. El Cid would like for y'all to like the live, and I would like you to like it too, and subscribe while you're here. Anyway, she, like I said, we've seen her all over the internet being, racist. Let's just say what it is, just flat out racist. That part I'm sure hasn't changed. I'm sure she's still just as racist as she's always been, but she's tired of her party. She's been there how many years? Well, she's been their number one spokesperson. This is according to the Neighborhood Talk. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, MGT, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene? Yeah, MGT. She's a representative in Georgia. She says she's not happy with how the party is turning their back on working Americans and staying away from their America First values. She even claims the Republican Party have become the good old boys. Is that what it has? You didn't see that coming? She should have added not smart to that long ass title. Shoot. How did you not see that coming? They've been the good old boys. You was just over there. I don't know what you was doing over there, to be honest, speaking on their behalf. Anyway, they've shut women out of the party, women meaning her, and something she's all of a sudden she can't stand by. I think the Republican Party has turned its back on America First and the workers and just regular Americans, she said to Daily Mail. Like, what happened to all those issues? You know that I don't know what the hell happened with the Republican Party. I really don't. But I'll tell you one thing, the course that it's on, I don't want to have anything to do with. And I just don't care anymore, she said, sounding frustrated. I think there's other women in our party that are really sick and tired of the way men treat Republican women. And she's snitching on the way out. The other women didn't say they wanted to be a part of this conversation. I think there are other women, Republican women, and I'm just giving my opinion here, who are really sick and tired of them. She continued. Keep in mind, neighbors, this is the same woman who has 10 tones down for a nullification of Roe v. Wade. I thought about that. I was like, well, you didn't think that was a thing? Come on. Become. Yes, she has become frustrated with her party, El Cid. Now she's saying the party doesn't care about everyday Americans and women, and she's been on their side since Trump first became the leader of the party. Well, so she's changed her mind. I'm guessing somebody told her to sit her ugly ass down in that office, and she clutched her pearls, and they was like, yes, girl. She wants sympathy from who? Who is she seeking sympathy from? Maybe her sisters out there. I don't know. She won't get no sympathy over here. The realization of it all. She didn't know she was going to be one of the handmaids. She had something else in mind, I guess. What else? What else is going on over here in these streets? I do not watch Love and Hip Hop, but I saw this story. Where's she at? Are y'all still watching Love and Hip Hop? I do not. I don't watch it. But sometimes it's hard to stay out of what's going on. I hear all the Kirk and Rashida stuff, and I heard the people was out here, had a trend going how they did not want to go see Rashida and Kirk. Okay, Erica Banks. She was over here traveling with a firearm in the airport. Why? What is wrong with her? We looking for trouble to get into. This don't even make sense. She's traveling with a firearm. So, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta star Erica Banks found herself in a whole mess at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport International this week. Sis was trying to catch a Delta flight to Houston when TSA popped her bag and found a stolen firearm tucked inside her designer Louis Vuitton purse. What? What's crazy is this piece was linked to back in Greenville, South Carolina. Is that where she's from? She from Carolina? Hey, Karen. Law enforcement arrested her on the spot. No word yet on the official charges. Hopefully, it's just a big misunderstanding. We're told that Erica said the GUN belonged to her security. Girl, what do y'all be doing when you pack for the airport? I'm so confused. I'm saying. You knew you was going to the airport. And they didn't say her luggage. They said her bag. So you were walking around carrying a stolen pew-pew from something over in North Carolina? I mean, clearly it wasn't hidden because, she got busted. My thing is, what I thought security was supposed to be. Where are you hiring your security from? Their job is to protect you. And I'm thinking if they're real like security with licenses and things, like I haven't been to an airport and I dang sure ain't been to the airport with no pow-pow. But I feel like if that's part of your job, you have to register these things. There's certain packing and things that has to happen at the airport. I don't know. But, she said he put it in her purse, in her LV bag. Y'all, Louis knapsack, where to work at? What you know about that? I know. I know they better be careful. Don't be under arrest. Yeah, girl, Erica Banks, she be having the bay yangs. So, yes, security with a stolen pew-pew. She might want to call the security company and say, well, this guy's fired. Send me another one. Okay, so I guess you're that bitch when you cause all this conversation. That's what the people said. Not all the people. Pierce Morgan. These people are so annoying. I promise you. Why is he always like, does he even live here? Why is he so focused on the the United States and what our entertainment industry is doing over here? He said Beyonce was over here culturally appropriating Marilyn Monroe. And I was like, she's how? They could just be looking for something crazy to say. And I'm not a beehive. Trumpet, you must be talking about oh girl. The UK doesn't like him much anymore. I mean, because he doesn't make sense. Sounds like she's culturally appropriating. No, she's not. And so let's just define what it is. Let's just say what it is. You know what I mean? Because there seems to be a lot of confusion about that. Culture vultures and cultural appropriation. And okay, so when a dominant culture, I don't believe she's from a dominant culture. So let's just start right there. I believe the culture that she comes from is the one that's, I don't know, under attack at the, always has been, to be honest. Anyway, when the dominant culture adopts or uses elements of minority culture without understanding or respecting its original context or significance, If it often involves taking something from another culture, like symbols, practices, or styles, and using them without acknowledging their historical and cultural importance, sometimes even profiting from them. Yes, Pierce is, but why? He don't even live over here. What does he care about Trump? Because he's over there. Oh, is it because he was on that show, The Apprentice? Anyway, I want to know what B did. I want to know how just her putting on this wig is cultural appropriating Marilyn Monroe. She didn't put on whiteface. That blonde is everything. I like it. I don't know. It's a photo shoot. She made an album called Her Levi's. I watched the video. She was fired. She did what Beyonce do. She came off of a tour, and then 1 week later, she released the video to sell some Levi's. Is that what she working for? The Levi's cut her a check? I don't know. But the song is about Levi's. And for whatever reason, this clown pulled cultural appropriation out of his ass. What'd you say else said? Folks use trumpet to avoid bots on YT when you type his full name. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess I'll do that. See, I appreciate y'all because I be out here like saying all the things I'm not supposed to say. And then, somewhere I'm in the bushes and y'all can't find me. But you know what? I'm still here. So there. Megyn Kelly has something to say now. I found this to be very funny. No, not her. Child. Megyn Kelly. There she is. I mean, I give Beyonce the credit where credit is due. I'm not always like, I like country music, first of all. So I did not enjoy her country album. I enjoyed a lot of her albums, but not that one. I feel like, and it has nothing it just didn't sound like country music. Whatever. Everybody has their opinion about music. I do like Beyonce. You got to give her credit. I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed watching Lil Blue on my timeline dancing around like her mama. That was very much entertaining. This lady, Megyn Kelly, y'all know stuff I don't know. What did Pierce do? He need another black woman to... Oh my God, he absolutely did. He was out here stalking Megyn. That's their problem. She didn't want him. That's their problem. I think him and Trumpet got that in common where, they get rejected. Then they get all, psycho. More psycho than they started out being. Anyway, this lady Megyn Kelly, she's a lot like her friend M3G. Margaret, whatever her name is, Green. This is the opposite of Sydney Sweeney ad. Quite clearly, there's nothing natural about Beyonce. Everything from her image, her fame, to her success, to her look below is bought and paid for, screams artificial, fake, enhanced, and trying too hard. Is that what she sees? Huh. I don't know. That ain't what I see. What you think? I feel like, Beyonce stand there. What you have to admit that wig is fire. It's all good, girl. Megyn Kelly. She's an entertainer. I feel like Beyonce be over here being creative, and y'all be being mad because why? Because she put a blonde wig on. She's been blonde this whole time. So what child? She could have done it years ago. She definitely did all of this before she started that tour. They planned this out like, her machine is machining Beyonce. She came off that tour. She ready to work another few coins while she hot. You can't work your coins when you've been gone. You got to work them while you're there. So that's why I said, I don't know if she's got a Levi's contract, but that song is about Levi's. And I bet you what, if you didn't like it at first, you're going to be somewhere around here humming Levi's jeans, because they're going to play it until you can't stand it anymore. That's the marketing and the stuff the young man was talking about, you know, in terms of Black businesses getting promotions and things. And he knows this because they, you know, blocked his, you know, machine a little bit, but that's okay. Anyway, we talking about Beyonce. This lady called her fake, and I was like, wait a minute. What did old Beyonce look like? You know, before the babies. I ain't saying she ain't been worked on, but this is Beyonce from back in the day. This is before all the girls were getting fake booties and things of that nature. So the waist was tight, snatched. She got a little dump in her little dump truck. And this is before babies. This is her, 19, 20-year-old body. So she's had some work done. You know, it looked like it, to be honest, but she didn't have to get too much work done. Beyonce still looked like Beyonce. Beyonce is a new B5, beautiful, bold, blonde, all the B's. She got all the B's, they'll say, that Beyonce does. And, you know, like or not, like I said, you got to give credit where credit is due. At least she still looked like Beyonce. Because who is this bitch? Megyn Kelly. I'm sorry. This is my channel. I'll say what I want to say. Who is this lady? Because I can't tell. Who is she appropriating? If you went to high school with Megyn Kelly and you walked past her today, you would not know who she is. Girl, you out here calling somebody fake? That's funny. That's really funny. Ciao. I know y'all, some of my Ready to Love people are over here. So there's an update on this little situation. If you don't watch Ready to Love, that's okay, because you don't have to. But over here, we watch Ready to Love, and we're going to talk about it. This guy came over in the last episode. They were meeting each other's ex. So this young lady went and found this man and said he was her ex. Okay? And so he was over there talking about how he was grooming her. Now, I don't know what this lady is talking about, and we'll get into it, but he came out of his own mouth and said he was grooming her. You know, we can read between the lines. Look at him. He looked creepy right here. He said, correction. I did not know her when she was 9 and I was 18. My words were incorrect and never meant to be harmful, negative, or predatory in nature. I tried to date her when she was 22 and she turned me down. Hope this clears things up. This clears nothing. You said you waited until this girl became of age. That's what you said. You came over and said, I've known you your whole life. And she said, my whole life. When do your whole life start? At 9? It don't start at 22, not when you're only 10 years away from that. We heard what you said. Don't try to clean it up, R. Kelly. You said you were looking at the little girl 9 years younger than you. You can move it around if you want to. 22, okay, well then you was in your 30s. Grown. Stop it, weirdo. She has something to say too. Now she said, I don't know. I guess because he's out here in his feelings. And we don't know what these people are doing. Once I close in the stream, I'm on to the next. I don't really, unless it comes up, then I'm not probably gonna be over here talking about it again. But he must have been over here in the comments and things, you know, trying to clear things up. She said, let me start by saying this will be the last time I will address this situation. I've read thoroughly all of the comments and I want a few things cleared up. When Jay said I was 9 and Jules was 18, he was throwing out a number to reference the 9-year age gap. As for Jules, I guess that's this nigga's name. I asked him to come on this show as a favor. I never begged and I told him if it made him uncomfortable, he didn't have to do it. He was happy to do it, girl. That was the problem. All I asked was for him to vet Jay, not spill his feelings on camera. Nobody told him to do the most. But girl, you said he'd be doing the most, and you always have to tell him that, it's not a love thing, it's a friend thing. Y'all gang, y'all homies. This is what you said. So now you didn't realize he was gonna spill it. I feel like he's been drooling for a long time now. Nobody told him to do the most, but he did, and now he's mad at the reaction. Well, he should be. He exposed his own self. Now he's out here trying to say producers edited the show to make me look good, which was laughable. Ain't nobody hiding who Ain't nobody hiding who I am. If you think I'm materialistic, cool. That's never been a secret. But stop acting like that's some dark character flaw. It's not, really. It's giving bitter. As for casting, I had no control over that. I waited just like everybody else. So let's stop acting like I sabotaged anything. He's mad. Girl, this is a lot. There's more? Oh my gosh. I guess in a nutshell, I'm tired of reading all this. He's upset that he came off like a petty. And she's over here saying that, she waited and, until she turned 18 and she had a crush on an older man. And, she said most girls do. Never created this narrative. This was a narrative he created for himself. Yes, the show was edited, but it doesn't change the fact that he said what he said. I agree. It doesn't change the fact he said what he said. Also, you're still not acknowledging that even if you didn't realize, like when you were younger, that this was not okay. As an adult now, you should realize that when you ask him to come over here. But as a grown woman, I'm not finna be around no man that keeps trying to make advances when I've told him and made it clear that I'm not into it. And at some point, you should think, golly, like he's this much older. He said out of his mouth, he was looking at you waiting until you were legal. So there's that. That means he's been flirting and looking and drooling, licking his lips and doing all those things for a very long time. And I feel like you like the attention because like Monica Lewinsky was over there in the White House being seduced by Bill Clinton, I feel like this young lady was doing the same. And then they were talking about church. So I guess, he lured her. He lured her with the Bible and all of that stuff. You got to be careful over here. Anyway, that's all I really got. I wanted to end with a little light, a little positivity after we get away from, whatever was going on over here with the RTL. Shout out to the mamas that be out here doing all the things. T, you said you just left football. This is how this lady gets down.
I'm going to tell you where you messed up at. Look, right here, the first thing you did, you was down. The first thing you did was stood straight up. No. You're going to remember you down. Said, first step. Once you get in, you drive and get out and away so that the runner can come straight through. Hey. Okay. That's how you block. Okay, I'm going to tell you where you.
So T, I'm going to need a video. I'm going to need to see you out here with my boy D. I want to see y'all out here practicing and getting things done, y'all. Thank you for coming and hang out with me. We'll be here next Thursday. I put up a schedule. You can pretty much catch me at 7 o'clock. Unless it's Sunday, then I'll be here at 2 o'clock. So what's today? It's Thursday. I guess I'll see y'all Sunday. Until then, Auf Wiedersehen.